Hey, good morning, everyone. It is time for After 9. Lisa is off. I'm Mike. That's Mike, too. Mike Bauer, NBC News Radio, regular contributor to the Morning Drive and all-around good guy, joining us from his home in Michigan this morning.
Yes, indeed. And good morning to you. Hey, the snow's melted, so we got that going for us.
That's good. Yeah, that's very good. And I see you got your Lions hat on. We got the Bauer Show emblem in the background and the Tigers pennants.
Yes, I do. Yeah, and that was for my birthday. My kids fully decorated the room. I had like full-on Lions-colored balloons in here that, of course, are now dead and I had to get rid of. But it was all done up. They did everything up here for me as far as Lions and Tigers gear went. So that was a fun birthday.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us today. I mean, people hear you all the time on our radio program, normally very early on in the morning we have you on, and you do this all across the country, right? Like, so you work for NBC News Radio, and you'll do the same report and talk to hosts all over.
Look, these are like the stations that I have for today. So I get like 20 to 30 stations a day. In some cases, I'll get them that email me, go, hey, can you talk about this particular topic instead of the one you were going to talk about? And so I'll have to custom make some news for them, in regards to certain topics. But generally, I'll call. Like today, a bunch of it was on sort of a combination, a Washington wrap-up. So it was partially Steve Bannon going in for his indictment and being charged. And the other part of it was how Congress down here in the States has this very limited amount of time over this next week to get anything done in Congress because they're going on vacation. And Mike, lest we forget, the most dangerous place to be in Washington, D.C. is standing between anybody in Congress and their vacation. That is a very painful and deadly place to be.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No,
don't mess with our vacation.
Fighter. Yeah, you don't want to mess with vacation.
All right, well, good stuff. Now, you are living over in Michigan. You recently moved back there because you used to live there, I don't know, how long was it, 15 years ago?
20 years ago.
20,
yeah, way back when, man. I was here 20 years ago. I in fact, it's funny, was driving through Pontiac to go take my daughter to a softball hitting lesson, and in driving through there, I'm like, oh my God, I took my wife 20 years ago to see Green Day play in this parking lot right here. Like it was kind of just, hitting these areas as much as it's changed here, and it has changed a great deal. Seeing at some of those locations, and you go, okay, that's where the Silver Dome had been at one point in time.
Yeah,
this is where I saw Green. Yeah, I mean, I was at one of the last preseason games for the Silver Dome in the existence of the Silver Dome. So it's kind of been cool to 20 years later, now see the Little League fields that are Tiger Stadium, were Tiger Stadium as the case may be, and to see some of the changes around here. But it's 20 years ago was when I was back working for WDFN on the Fan. So it's been a long time.
Look at that.
Look at you. See, there you go.
On cue, the WDFN mug with the D almost. This is what I got for interning there for 3 months. This mug. Before you, I think. I don't think you were there yet. But when I
had an ill-fitting Letterman's jacket that the DFN had, like these Letterman's jackets for the on-air host. It was very ill-fitting for me. And I don't even remember. I think we packed it away in a move, and then I don't know where it's been since then. It may even still be packed away someplace.
All right. Well, welcome back to the area, and I know that you're very anxious to get over to Windsor.
Oh, you have no idea. My first Labatt Blue that I had when I was here 20 years ago was in Windsor. And then I figured out, you could get it across the border. You don't have to go to Canada for that. So, but that's. I mean, I visited time in Windsor. Went over by one of the casinos there off the river too, off the water there too. I don't remember what it was, but I went there for a brief period of time.
The Riverboat Casino, I think it was called.
I didn't lose any money, so I felt good about that. And then my wife and I drove up into Toronto because she's a makeup artist, so she had to get some equipment there for work. So we had this whole big drive all the way through up to Toronto and then came back again. And I haven't been back since. And it's just a quick jaunt across the Ambassador Bridge. I can't wait to go over because somebody keeps telling me about the best pizza in the world in Windsor. And I actually had a friend of ours, one of my wife's clients, say and second that the best pizza in the world is in Windsor.
Yeah, it absolutely is. There's a documentary even about it that I'm going to send you. You can watch and you can see for yourself why Windsor has the best pizza. And it has a lot to do with the ingredients and the shredded pepperoni. None of these round pepperonis, shredded pepperoni.
That's the thing I heard was the shredded pepperoni. And that was
right.
One person pointed out was you've got to get the shredded pepperoni. I'm like, why did we do that to pepperoni? It's perfect the way it is, but now I can't wait to try it.
Yeah, absolutely. Ann saying hi to Lulu. Yep, Lulu's back this morning. She wasn't here yesterday. There she is in her beautiful sweater this morning.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I was trying to get you to come over here and see some comedy with me now that I guess officially the borders are open, right? Are they open? They're open for you guys?
Yeah, the border is open, but to get back home, you got to have I don't know.
Why are they doing that
echo
to
in my headphones? But anyway, yeah. So you got to get a PCR test before you go over the border to Detroit, and then come back and show your test.
That is weird. And you have to pay for the test.
You got to pay for the test, which is not cheap, right? So there's the added cost on top of that.
So I'm going to see if I can get you a test gift card this holiday season, because I want you to come over and see some comedy, see Dave Attell with me over on this side of things. Then I was trying to figure out, and maybe you can help. What do you guys do to go see comedy over there? Where do you go? Because I'd come across, if I didn't have to take tests, I'd come across and have a fun, chuckle hut kind of comedy night with you over there. But I just don't know enough about Windsor to figure out where to go see comedy.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I don't know either, to be honest, where you can go see comedy. Oh, well, there's an echo. Yeah, I thought there was an echo going on. I don't know if I'm coming through your headphones into your microphone or what's going on.
I don't think my headphones are that loud. I have, for all we know about radio people, and they're really hard of hearing and how loud things have to be in studios, mine hasn't been that bad yet.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I'll put mine down. Maybe that'll help a little bit or something. Maybe that's the issue. Anyway, I'd like to hear from people. Like, if Mike Bauer is going to come over across the border, want to see some comedy, where is he going?
And that's my go-to, by the way. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, go see a concert first. I did notice, and this is something totally aside. I was going through, what kind of events? One of those event websites I go to and see what's coming up in Windsor. And one of the things I saw was a thing that my daughters and my wife, throughout the entirety of COVID, became very close over, and that was RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh,
and that you've got Ginger Minge coming to Windsor, and they were like, "Oh, we want to go! Can we go?" I've already taken my kids and my wife to one drag show when we were in Texas, and so I guess now there may have to be a trip across the bridge and head over to Windsor for a second drag show, possibly.
Yeah, that might work. Might work. Sure, why not? Give it a try. So I don't know if anybody can suggest a good place for Mike to come over here and go to a comedy show.
Yeah.
And then what else can he do when he comes over here? What are some other ones? Roxy says Leo Dufour Comedy Club.
Okay.
I've been to that one before. That's a good one.
Now you're not banned from that one, right? And I mean, by your parole officer. I just want to make sure we're clear on that.
Now, do you want to do some stand-up, or do you want to be in the audience?
Oh, I was thinking about just going to watch a show. I haven't done stand-up personally. Well, my daughter's 14, so since my daughter was born, I haven't done stand-up really. I tried a little bit out right after she was born, and like late nights, staying up late with the kid, then having to try to go to a comedy show and then come home and the kid, like it didn't work out right. So I've been writing a bunch of comedy. At some point, I think I'll get back to it. I don't know. But right now, I just love to go to comedy shows. I saw Patton Oswalt was over here playing right next to the Fox Theater, doing a show here last weekend. So my wife and I went over and saw Patton do some comedy. I'm a huge comedy show fan. I love to go to comedy shows.
Okay, well, we got at Caesars Windsor coming up. Bill Burr is going to be at Caesars Windsor.
He's so funny.
Yeah, he's going to be there. I don't see a date on this, so maybe it's to be determined. It's probably one of those delayed shows that then they got to reschedule.
Getting back onto the schedule and all of that, yeah.
Not comedy, but REO Speedwagon's here December 11th.
Look, I can't fight this feeling any longer.
I knew you couldn't.
And yet, I'm still afraid to let it show.
So Jason says, Caesars. Or the WFCU Center, they have some comedians that come in. I saw Jerry Seinfeld at the WFCU Center. Yep. Okay. And I saw Jerry at the Fox Theater in Detroit before, too. Great show. So there you go. Kimberly says she's going to REO.
No, I would absolutely. First of all, who's playing with REO? Let me guess, Styx? That's usually the REO like go to is either Styx or Tommy Shaw on some level is playing with Ario. But or I mean, personally, I would love to see a guest appearance by Bryan Adams or perhaps Rick Emmett from Triumph.
Oh, there you go.
Stage there with Ario Speedwagon. That'd be pretty cool. But I was a very young Bauer, would go to the library across the street from my middle school, and I would rent out High Infidelity, the record from Ario Speedwagon, and I would bring it home, wear it out, then take it back after a week, and then literally as soon as I returned it, wait for them to bring it out, I'd go rent it again and play it again for the next week. So for me, I'm a huge Ario Speedwagon fan.
Legendary album.
Yeah.
Legendary album. So, okay, well, it looks like they're here by themselves.
Ah, does that happen?
Because I think it's an
amazing night with Ario Speedwagon. That's awesome.
I think because it's a casino show.
Okay.
Maybe that's why. Bachman Turner Overdrive live in concert March 11th. Alice Cooper January 27th.
Nice.
And Slash will be here March 4th.
Without Axl, without guns, but doing his own thing.
No, featuring Miles Kennedy.
Yep.
And the Conspirators. I almost said the Constipators, but it's the Conspirators are going to be here, not the Constipators.
You got to wait a couple of years for Slash to get into that, but then he will have the Constipators out. It will be a whole thing. It'll be an early show. You'll be done by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It'll be great.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, well, there we go. We got some plans for you. If you can make it over here, I'm hoping to, we've never actually met in person, though we talk all the time. So, hopefully one of us will get across the border very soon. And I hope to get you here.
Across on video. I'm much shorter than I come across, and doughier than I come across on video. So it should be an impressive feat for you to see what I actually look like in person.
I thought video adds 10 pounds.
In this particular case, it kind of hides it under baggier clothes, and then when you see me, you'll be like, "Wow, he's pushing maximum density. How does that happen?"
But I love the hat. Your thoughts on that awful Lions game on Sunday?
Oh my God! My poor kids, and my wife was like, "It's going to be so exciting for you to go back to Detroit and be there to cheer on your teams." I'm like, "Yeah, right." And then it's not a loss, but it certainly was nowhere near a win. And every single week to see that anger and frustration in me grow, because here I am now, and we're sitting at a winless season. What are you going to do? But it was incredibly frustrating. I don't know what to do. I'm still at a place right now. I feel like I'm about to explode, but I'm like, why? Right now, you could get on the blower right now with Colin Kaepernick and get a quarterback over here, at least as a backup on some level, that might be able to step in and perhaps, certainly injuries aside, be able to pick up the pace for us and maybe get us to a place where, I don't know, maybe you can hit TJ Hawkinson once, or twice, or get at least over 40 yards and a half. That might be something you want to look at from a quarterback standpoint.
It's bad, and Goff is the quarterback taking the hit, but, there's not much around him.
No. And we've got injuries. I am all in on Swift. I'm a DeAndre Swift guy. My 7-year-old hears that. DeAndre Swift, like, she knows, she's looking for his jersey number. She's in on it. We're all in on it. But even that becomes a mess when that's all you're doing all day long. There's nothing. You're just asking for an injury. And trust me, with the history of Lions running backs, we don't want any more of that. That's not a good thing anymore. So, it was incredibly frustrating. And I'm also like, not that I want Odell Beckham Jr. at all, but there are wide receivers that we could bring in, I think, to add to the field, to put more hands out there, to create a threat on some level. What's wrong with doing that right now? And yet, I don't know. I don't even know what are we thinking about going out there for young talent in the draft? I have no idea.
I don't know.
Like at the Ole Miss game, which I think is probably one of the better quarterbacks right now as a possibility in the draft, they're not even out looking at that.
Yeah, but it sucks we're talking already about the draft, and it's not even U.S. Thanksgiving.
Dude, halfway through, now halfway through a 17-week season, but halfway through, this is that time you start talking about firing the coaching staff. Yep. You start talking about what's going to happen in the draft. Welcome to being a Lions fan.
Yep, it is tradition. Well, listen, Mike, thanks for the time today. Who are you talking to next in your reports? What city?
Let's see. I will be talking with Oklahoma City, then Portland, Oregon.
Oh.
And then I will wrap things up with Des Moines and Fargo, North Dakota will be my last call today.
Wow.
I'll be
all over
right
the
after
country.
The Ag Report.
We'll get the hog prices and then Mike Bauer after this.
We'll talk about corn for like 45 minutes, and then we'll bring Bauer in once we're done with corn and soybeans.
All right, Mike. Pleasure. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for joining us today on After 9.
I appreciate it.